with Kwan Main Harman. We are going to be talking today about purpose and defining your why on the road to success and why this is so critical. In fact, let's start off with this. Let's start off with the second tagline description of our talk today, Kwan Main. Welcome, by the way. Welcome. Excited to have you and to talk about what we're going to talk about today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Amazing, brother. Amazing. So, your purpose, this is our tagline for our talk today. Your purpose matters. Without it, your success will never be enough. And I think that's so important. A lot of people get the, oh, yeah, start with why, or oh, yeah, purpose and why, and this and that. Yes, people get that. Mm-hmm. But in terms of going further and why that is, I think that's important. So yes, why will, never mind financial success and this and that. That's all great, of course. Mm-hmm. But talk to us a bit about, without purpose and without really being purposeful and being on purpose, why will our success, their success, your success never be enough?
So you hit the nail right on the head, actually, by saying, let's skip over the financials, right? Like let's define what success is, right? So success to every individual is going to look different, right? So for some people, that's going to be making $1 billion. For other people, it's going to be giving out to the homeless. For some people, it's going to be just having a family, right? So each and every person has their own definition of what purpose is and what that means to them. But I think a lot of times the first thing that comes to people's mind is having money, right? But how many times have we seen famous people who have billions and billions of dollars commit suicide because they are not what? They're not fulfilled. They don't have, they're not achieving their purpose in life. So we have to, absolutely. Yeah. So we have to really look at our purpose. And that basically means it's what we're on this earth to do. And that once we find our purpose and we're walking in our purpose, then we feel fulfilled. And no matter what level of achievement or money or whatever that is for you, whatever the extra that comes with it, that's great. But your purpose is literally what's gonna keep you in life.
I think you're right. And a lot of people, it's a great way to start, because a lot of people will have purpose as a secondary or nice to have. Mm-hmm. The problem with that thinking is what's incorrect. First of all, you need to have a purpose. You need to have, otherwise we're unfulfilled. We get burnt out. We bail. We sabotage. We blow it up. We quit. We say, F this. I don't want to do it anymore. And I don't think enough people realize that. Whether people get addicted to drugs or gambling or sex, drugs, rock and roll, whatever the vices are, no matter how rich you are or how successful you are, however you measure that, whether it's friends, popularity, or riches, or whatever, clients, I think you're right that if it's not attached to our big why, our big purpose, we're never going to feel enough. We're never going to need more and bigger cars and more this and bigger that and more money and more whatever. And we're, to your point, suicides amongst people that are very depression. Look at all the actors, look at all the comedians, for goodness sakes, but look at all the actors that are depressed or have depression or anxiety, let alone all the other business people right out there. So I think that's a very, very important point. And I think it makes it sustainable. Would you not agree? It makes success. If you have success, you may get to success without purpose. Sure. It's a lot harder and it kind of sucks, but and it it sounds like it sucks. So I want to be on purpose, and that's why I get out of bed every day, because I can make a difference, and it's connected to my deep purpose. And yes, I want financial success because that also helps me live my purpose of helping people, donating, giving back, volunteering, and building schools and homes in I'll call it impoverished countries. So yes, financial is important, and when you have affluence, you can be influent. Pardon me. When you have influence, you can be affluent, and vice versa. And affluence creates your influence. Yeah. So talk to us a little more, because you're a big purpose guy like me, and this is why I wanted to have this talk today. Tell me more about purpose and your why and what you tell people, what you coach people, what the best advice you give people is.
Yes. So for those of you who do not know, I help entrepreneurs in the community. I help them to create their own streams of revenue by creating their own business, and I help them with the fundamentals. And so as I was creating my business for myself, I took what I already enjoyed doing for free. And that was helping people, giving people advice, giving people tips with the knowledge that I had and that I was acquiring and that I am acquiring. And so in creating my business for myself, I realized my own purpose. And in realizing my own purpose, I'm able to see someone, to see what they're passionate about and say, hey, you're really good at this. Let's explore this area some more.
Fair.
And in finding your purpose, I found that you have to kind of try your hand at a few different things. And that might look different for everyone, you know?
And I love, let's stop there for a second, because that's so important too, because
Yes.
people see that, oh, that didn't work. I failed, or I guess I can't do this, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not worth it, I'm not smart, I'm not whatever, this can't work. I guess I'm never destined to be a blank.
Yep.
But to your point, you probably will change on the path to purpose and success. You probably will fail a whole lot. And I'm living proof that is okay.
You'll fail more than you succeed.
And that's just like Michael Jordan, just like Babe Ruth, just like Elon Musk. He had three rockets blow up when he first started SpaceX. The fourth one actually worked.
Yep.
He's had multiple rockets blow up since then. And if we give up on the first rocket attempt, so to speak.
Right. Very true. Very true.
It's so talk to us more. What is like the best piece of advice you would give people when wanting to be successful, but also wanting to link it with their purpose? Because I think people get, or most people get, that it's important. What's the best top two pieces of advice you give them?
The top two pieces that I would give, and this is something that I teach a lot of my clients that I work with now, in finding their business and in life, is that your purpose, your why, it needs to actually matter to you. Right. Yeah. So look at society and how much influence society has on everyone. That comes from, the shape of your body, to your sexual preference, to your religion, to this, to that. Yeah. Right. There's so many different outside forces and outside things and places that speak to us. Right. And it's constant. There's never a break from society's influence.
You should, you have to, you must. This is good. This is bad.
Exactly.
All the nonsense, right?
Yes. So it's important to differentiate what you actually enjoy doing versus what you think everyone else wants you to enjoy doing,
or what you should, or exactly, you should all over yourself, as one of my mentors says.
I love that. I'm gonna steal that.
Do it.
Yeah. So I mean, prime example, right? So we always let's go back to money, because that's what everyone can relate to, right? No matter where you're from, where you are, your background, anything, right? Who says that money is important? Outside of paying your bills and all the normal stuff, who says that you have to be a billionaire to be successful, right? Like, to your point earlier, you were talking about it's important to be able to have resources and to have the financial stability to be able to give and share, right? But that's like, you've achieved that level of knowledge, that mindset, right? But not everyone has that. Some people just think, oh, I need to make $1 billion and then I'll be fulfilled with life, right? But I mean, going back to it again, okay, you get $1 billion, but now what? Right? Like, what do you do now that you've achieved that one goal, right? You don't know, because you don't have your purpose.
It's so true. Sure, you have a more expensive car, and sure you have a more of this and that, or a bigger house, or a bigger picket fence, or you can buy fancier drinks. But again, I like having nice things. Don't get me wrong. I do like having nice things and nice trips. And I mean, with my old car, when I got it, I'm like, I'm gonna wash it every day, and how long that lasted, right? And then I got a new, a couple of years ago, I had a really nice sports car, and I'm like, I was excited. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
But again, and I like having a nice sports car, but the novelty wears off. If that was okay now, and wait, oh my God, Kwame, no, I need a new sports car to be happy now.
Yep, absolutely.
It's a slippery slope, and
it never ends. It never ends.
It doesn't. Exactly. Exactly.
Yep. My second tip would be your purpose isn't actually for you. It's for everyone around you. It's for the world. And it's the same thing in business, right? Like, the reason why you should go into business is, obviously there's benefits to having your own business. You own your own time, you own your own freedom, all those good things, right? We know that, right? But your business ultimately is serving a purpose to the community and to the world, right? And so in that's servanthood. That's serving. Your purpose, what you do, who you are as a person, as an individual, should literally pour, encourage, inspire, motivate someone out there in the world.
Fair point. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. And sure, I love that you said that. I often tell people, you almost need two whys or two purposes. Is you need a selfish one. It's okay to be selfish.
Yes.
I want to travel the world, have a lot of
Mhm.
fun, meet amazing people like you. I just got
Yes.
back from Miami and Orlando, and I mean that was great. That was amazing. I was doing cool
Mhm.
things with cool people.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And having a selfish why as well, or maybe creating a
Mhm.
good life for your kids. Now, again, we got to
Yeah.
argue whether that's a selfish why or not, but
Mhm.
you do, to
Yeah.
your point, you need a very big worldly why to be truly fulfilled and
Mhm.
truly happy.
Yeah.
You do need a bigger worldly why. Is it how are you leaving the planet a better place than you found it?
Absolutely.
However
Mhm.
you do that,
Yeah.
whatever it
Mhm.
is. And I
True.
think that's critical. It's
Absolutely.
critical, important. And I
Mhm.
think those two whys, and like you said,
Mhm.
your why, your big why, your biggest why is
Yeah.
actually not about you.
Absolutely.
And that's why I think on the darkest of days, people, including myself, we can get out of bed in the morning, or even you don't feel like doing it. Um,
Mhm.
you can get out of bed in the morning, and you're like,
Yeah.
my
Absolutely.
purpose is too big. I mean, yes, take vacation. I believe in self care and rest, absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But it's like the big, the farther up the ladder of life, if you will, the purpose of life we go. I'm sure you tell people this as well.
Mhm.
The black hole of life that sucks us dry and makes us
Yeah.
unhappy, unfulfilled, and creates addictions and stuff. That vacuum, if you will, that vacuum
Yeah.
cleaner hose of life. The farther away from that, our higher purpose, literally, the higher we go with our purpose, the farther
Yep.
we are away from that vacuum hose,
Mhm.
and the less stuff bothers us. The little things, they don't. Okay, so your brakes got to get fixed, or so your car broke, or so this happened or that happened.
Yep.
Yeah, kind of sucks, and yeah, I'll deal with it. But because my
Yep.
purpose up here, I have way more important things to fix and worry about and to think about.
Mhm.
Yeah, this happened. BFD, big deal.
Yeah.
Um, I think you're right, and I think so many of us, and it's okay to be selfish. I think it's okay to be
Yeah.
selfish. We do need to take care of ourselves.
Self care is important. You said it.
It is
Absolutely.
huge,
Absolutely.
huge. Yep, yep.
Mhm.
We gotta have fun,
Yep.
and
Yep.
do cool things.
The balance is the balance, though. It is a balance. I agree
Mhm.
100% with you. Self care is just as important as serving others, but a lot of times I find people get so caught up on themselves that they have tunnel vision on themselves and they can't
Yeah,
see the
yep.
people that are right there in front of them, right to the side or right to the left or right, and that they can literally reach out to and just, hey, here's this or here's that or here's this resource or here's how I can help you, and not want anything in return for it.
And exactly. And people are like, well, wait a minute. How am I going to make money doing that? Trust Quan Main and myself. You make a lot
Yes,
of money doing that. If you
yes,
give,
yes,
and
yes.
my mentor Rubel as well has taught me that just give incredible amounts of value. Give
Yes,
so much. Christian
yes,
Michelson talks about this too. Give so much value. People would be crazy not to want to work with you, support you,
mhm,
refer to you, do business with you,
absolutely.
befriend you.
Hmm.
And it's so true.
Yeah,
Everyone wants your money. Everyone wants to pitch you. Everyone wants your money.
right.
Give so much value, give value for so much value, whatever you're doing, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you work for a corporation, or whether you're trying to get hired, give so much value first. People would be stupid not to work with you. And sure,
Absolutely.
some might, but that's a big thing too.
Hmm.
Amazing. What else you got for us? What other big tips? What do they give advice do you give people when talking about purpose and either finding fulfillment or finding success, or both, and then how
Yeah,
that's connected?
absolutely. I kind of alluded to a little bit earlier, but you have to look inward. And while you're looking inward, you have to find what brings you joy. Like sincere, like no, there's no ceiling to the joy that it brings you of doing. Whatever that is for you, that's your purpose, right? So if you know that you love cooking, that could be your purpose.
Yeah.
That can literally be what you were put on earth to do. And that could be feeding the homeless. That could be catering to people and letting people experience new flavors and tastes that they would never experience otherwise, right?
Yummy.
Like small things can have a huge impact.
And that's the thing too. And it's interesting. I hear a lot of people thinking, oh, I can't make money, or the old, our parents world,
Mhm.
when they're like,
Yes.
oh, go into business, and
Yep.
or go work for a stable company and all this
Hmm.
stuff. I mean, you can make
Yep.
money doing anything, like
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's so true. You know, you
Mhm.
look at the people making money out there, and it could be anything. I mean, I know a
Right.
guy. He makes little plastic cups, like the stuff McDonald's, and you
Yeah,
get the ketchup
absolutely.
in, or
Yep.
Wendy's. You put your sauce.
Mhm.
His company makes these things. Now he's
Yeah.
not the one making them on the line. It's robots
Right.
and machines, but he
Mhm.
loves the relationships.
Awesome.
He loved the connection to people, and all he
Mhm.
does is print cups, little plastic.
Yeah.
Another gentleman I know, he has $100 million company, and all
Mhm.
he does is drill holes in the ground. And all he does is drill holes. And now, of course, he does it for huge sky rises, so
Right.
it's a bit of a specialized skill. But really,
Yeah.
he's like, all I do, I just, my business just drills
Simple.
holes in the ground. Now he doesn't do it himself; he has people. But yeah, we just drill
Right.
big holes in the ground. And
Right.
people, at first
Mhm.
you're like, what?
Mhm.
But again, well, 100, if not maybe $200 million company,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
you can make money doing anything. It's just when you love it,
Absolutely.
people will come, and people will want to work
Absolutely.
for you.
Yeah. And I'd like to add to that
Yeah,
also,
please.
everyone has a beginning. And that
Yeah,
beginning isn't 9 times out of 10, unless you inherit a gazillion dollars from someone, your beginning is going to be small. And
yeah,
then you have to put in the work to
yeah.
make it grow.
Exactly.
If you're not willing to sacrifice and put in the effort, work, and time, and really desire for it to grow, then it's not going to grow. You get out what you put in.
Well, you got it. Yeah, and a lot of times it's that make your commitment bigger than your ego. Oh, I'm old
Yeah.
enough. I shouldn't do this. Oh, this is
Yeah.
my second business. I was having a quite great conversation with a friend the other day.
Mhm.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I've already started a business and I shouldn't have. No. What did you learn when you first started your business? Oh yeah, you start with one or two or three, and a lot of failures and this and that because
Mhm.
that ego had come up. And whether we're I'm this or I'm that or
Mhm.
I come from corporate. I'm used to dealing with 50 million a quarter clients or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Make sure that commitment comes before the ego. And sure, like you said, you start often, you start small, and sure, it sometimes it's going to suck, and but look at the people in the world. They didn't start with Tony Robbins didn't start with 5,000
Right.
or a hundred
Right.
thousand people at every seminar.
Mhm.
Start
Right.
with a few in his living
Yep.
room type thing.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Amazing, amazing.
Absolutely.
What
Yeah.
else do people know? Sorry, go ahead. I was going to
No,
ask you.
no, I was actually just gonna say just that, right? So um I actually am currently working with someone who he creates these really cool necklaces.
Huh?
And normally when you think about necklaces, you're like, oh, anybody can do that. But how many people are actually doing it for one?
True.
Two, how many people are actually saying, okay, you know what? This week I'm going to sell 200 of my necklaces for $10 a piece, right? Like just a small mindset, the mindset change there can make all of the difference.
Huge.
I know you talk a lot about mindset and really seeing like, okay, where is your actual mind at right now? Am I thinking positively? Am I thinking negatively? And what do I need to change to be better?
Yep.
Right. And I think that's obviously like a very key component to this entire conversation on finding your why, finding your purpose, why it matters is just your mindset for sure.
It's huge, huge, huge. I mean, exactly. Mindset is everything,
Yeah.
and that's why I love NLP and love teaching NLP because it's a study of success. It's a study of and the research into what the most successful people in the world, what
Mhm.
makes them successful. What
Yeah.
what what have they done? How they act? How do they think?
Mhm.
How they look at the world differently? What do they do? What are their common habits, behaviors, traits? How do they talk to people?
Mhm.
And that's why I love NLP because it's a study of what works. It's modeling what works and then how to recreate it in yourself. So
Absolutely.
it's about upping people's game, and that's to your exact point. It's
Mhm.
about upping our game, connecting more to our why, our purpose, and it doesn't have to be something fluffy and frou-frou, and
Right. Right.
it can be. I mean, it can if you want, but it can be
Right.
something solid.
Mhm.
It's like I want to
Absolutely.
help the environment. I want to make one of my worldly purpose. I want to make the environment better because we're
Mhm.
killing the planet and we're actually killing
Yeah.
ourselves. But then
Right.
also people, in other countries that don't have, US, Canada, we're Europe, we're very blessed. But there's a lot of
Yeah.
countries where,
Yes.
they
Yeah.
have nothing. Uh,
Yes.
and I've
Yep.
traveled a lot and I've seen that. And it's like, wow,
Same.
I want to make, yeah, exactly. I want to make an impact, not just with my dollars, but with my body, my hand. I want to actually help
Yeah.
build school. Cause I mean, it's easier to donate, but it's like, I want to go down and almost
Mhm.
sacrifice for the greater good. And that is
Yeah.
because, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
sure, here's some money is one thing, but going
Mhm.
down and building schools, like maybe we'll
Yeah.
do it together. We'll go down
Yeah.
uh,
That'd be awesome.
Caribbean or Africa or wherever we do
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
It's important to me. And to
You
your
you
point.
I also feel like you also feel more connected when you're hands on versus, oh, I can just click on a website and just donate, $1,000, $100, $5, $10, whatever it is, right? I was in the military for 4 years. I served overseas in Japan and traveled to a bunch of third world countries, and some really great countries as well. So I've seen firsthand as well, just the impact that you can have by literally going over and pouring in, building wells or building schools or building buildings, or even just spending time with some people, right, and just talking to them and having conversations, right. There's so many places in the planet overall where people are just lonely, and having a 10-minute conversation from a foreigner could be life-changing for them, life-altering for them.
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
know
Or give them
Absolutely.
hope and be like, oh, I can't because blank. I'm like, nah, that's bullshit, man.
Yes,
That's bull.
yes.
Avoid believing that of whoever programmed that into the government or parents or society or whatever. No, and
Absolutely.
you're right. Changing their mindset again. I guess that'd be a third
Yeah,
purpose of mine
yeah.
too. Is going and talking to people in third world countries because, as you know, rich or poor, it's mindset, it's thinking,
Yes,
it's
it is.
the stuff we're not even noticing, the opportunities we're not even seeing. We're almost
Mhm.
having blinders on,
Yes,
and changing that and changing the way you look at things is huge, 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 huge.
absolutely. Yeah. You made a comment earlier, and
Yep.
you said a couple things, right? So you said, I want to blank, and I think that that's key. I was listening to you as you were speaking, and I'm thinking of so many people who have not made the ultimate decision to want to do something. So I would say another key to finding your purpose and your why is taking ownership of your life. What does that look like, right? It is first saying, you know what, I want to do something. I want to do what? Fill in the blank for yourself, right? Fill in the comments, in the chat. What do you exactly want to do?
I
Is
know.
it, I want to start my own business? Is it, I want to write music? I want to be a writer. I want to publish my own book or my own children book. I want to be a cook. Whatever it is, it's taking ownership of something that you want to do for your life, right? How many of us work 9 to 5 jobs and we want something more, right? You have to start by wanting. And from that want, you have to choose and make the deliberate decision to put something into action.
Yeah.
What is the something, right? That's something that we're always trying to think, right? What is something that I can do to make my life better, right? And that's for you to ultimately decide, right? But it all begins with the conscious decision of, I want something more.
Fair enough. Fair point. I love it. And it's, yeah. And then and why the heck do I want it?
Mm-hmm.
Who am I going to celebrate with? How am
Yeah,
I going to celebrate? What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do? All the money and the millions of dollars or whatever people want. What are you
mm-hmm.
going to do with it? It just
Right,
you just get, if it's only having more expensive cars, which is cool, or having
right.
faster cars or bigger homes, and that's cool too.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
However, if you're all alone in your big fancy house or you're in your big fancy car, it gets
Right.
pretty lonely, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, what is the purpose and
Mm-hmm.
what am I connecting to, and what makes me
Absolutely.
happy?
Yep.
Yeah, and to
Absolutely.
your point, that's the rocket fuel that keeps us going, and I'm living proof of that. I mean, and you are
Yeah.
too. That
Absolutely.
that's what keeps us going on the crappiest days, the hardest of times. And sure, some days I say screw it, and I take the rest of the day off or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, sure, but it keeps us going, gets us out of bed, and motivates us. And it's like,
Mhm.
all right,
Yep.
that blew up. All right,
Yep.
what do we
Let's
do?
just
I
let's get
respond.
back to it. Get back on
Yeah,
the horse again, right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. That's
Absolutely.
exactly. We can fall,
Yeah.
and I think people need to realize that it's okay to fall off the horse. It just,
Yes.
you need to get back on, and we all do. We all
Hmm.
do. You just
Yep.
need to get back on, and
Yep.
that's the difference. It's not falling
Hmm.
off the horse or how many times. It's getting back on the horse. Can you keep
Yes.
getting back on that horse, preferably without
Absolutely.
any loss of enthusiasm, um,
Right.
right? And
Uh-huh.
keep getting back on the horse or the bike
Yep.
or the whatever.
Yeah. It's tenacity and it's grace. It's giving yourself the grace to make mistakes. It's giving yourself the grace to fail and pick it back up again and try again. Absolutely.
That's a big thing because so many people are guilt ridden or self judgment. Oh, I suck,
Yes.
or oh, that was bad decision.
Mhm.
I'm such a this, such a that.
Yes.
And it's horrible. It's horrible to
Yes.
do. You did the best you can with what you knew, and now you know better. So do better. Of course, is judging and grief and critique and hating on
Yes.
yourself, and I'm so this or I'm not that. It doesn't help you win.
Mhm.
In fact, it does the opposite. So okay,
Yeah.
that didn't work. What that
Right.
was a bad decision, or that
Mhm.
was even a bad
Mhm.
decision, but that was, now I know
Right.
what not to do. What do we need to do
Mhm.
now?
Yep. Yep.
what would you leave people with on our big talk here on purpose mattering and success and being fulfilled and successful? What would you leave people with today, Kwan Ming?
I would leave people with the key thought of understanding why your purpose is important to you, knowing specifically that you have a purpose. You're not just here for a random reason. You're not just here by circumstance. You're here for a purpose. You're here for a reason. It doesn't matter the things that you've experienced in life. It doesn't matter the things that you've messed up on. It doesn't matter the mistakes that you've made in the past or in the future or in the present. The mistakes you're making currently, right now, we're all making mistakes right now at this very moment in some way, shape, or form. It does not matter because you still have a purpose. It doesn't change the fact that you have a purpose and a reason for being here, and you have to fulfill it. You have to find it and you have to do it.
Right on. I mean, I forgot to turn on my little lady thing here. Right. So
nice. Right.
I guess I'll leave it on now for now. But yeah, it's a thing. Yeah. It's like, what are you gonna do? And you know, it happens to the best of us. So
absolutely,
no failure, only feedback. I think that's the thing. And if you're not making mistakes, you're not growing, you're not learning, you're not shifting, you're not taking actions. Go out, make some mistakes. Because eventually they well, I think they're the stepping stones. The crap, no matter how bad it is, whatever it is, take responsibility, take control, and use it as stepping stones. Literally, build a staircase with it to get to where you want.
Yep. And in that same staircase, you're setting the trail for someone else to follow.
Fair point.
Literally. Yep. Absolutely.
Yep. That's true. So, brother, this has been awesome. How can people connect with you if they want to know more?
Yes. You can go to my website at www.consultdami.com, consultdami.com, or you can follow me on all of the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, my YouTube channel at Consult Dami. I have a few channels up there, a few ways for you guys to reach out and check me out.
Very cool, brother. Amazing. This has been a pleasure having you. Thank you for coming and giving value to our audience. And everyone, hope you got some value. Reach out to Kwan Ming and check out his YouTube channel as well. Follow any other videos on my channel as well you'd like to see with other people giving lots of value. And everyone go have your best day